Picture this. You pull up to a boss fight. You've got your starter gear, you're low level, and you enter the boss arena thinking that you've got what it takes to beat this guy. And he kicks your ass. So you try again, and you try again, and it's not any better than the first time. You don't know his mechanics. You don't have any stats or good gear, and you realize that you're probably not going to beat this guy. I guess you could roll the 1 in 1,000 chance that you get lucky and dodge everything perfectly and play it like a speedrunner. But that doesn't always happen, and it's probably a waste of time to try it. So what you do is you leave, you go, you farm up a few levels, you find some new items that synergize with what you're trying to do, and you come back, you try again, you learn the mechanics, you figure out the attack patterns, and now you don't get one shot by every attack that the boss deals, and you actually deal a little bit of damage, so you don't have to hit him 100 times to kill him, you only have to hit him 20 times. And you've done all this work, you come back and you take him out. You win the fight because you focused on your stats and your gear and you upgraded yourself. That is Path of Exile. Like a lot of games, you start the game with nothing. Now, in Minecraft, you start with wood gear, like wood tools, till eventually you can get some stone tools, and you use those stone tools to find iron, so you can make iron tools and iron armor, and then you use those to find diamonds, and then eventually you gather up a bunch of books, an enchantment table, netherite gear, and you put it all together so that you have perfect netherite armor, netherite tools, other tools enchanted exactly how you want them to be, so that you have this full collection of items so that you can take on any challenge and any thing that comes your way. Anything you want to attempt, you have the gear for it after putting in the time and effort to build up and craft the stuff that you need. That's Path of Exile. At the start of the game, there's not much going on. You don't attack super fast, you move at your base movement speed, and the monsters don't do much. The enemies don't do much. But almost as quickly as you can blink, suddenly every enemy is 100 feet tall, there's explosions everywhere, you shoot 10 projectiles out anytime you do anything, you run at 1,000 miles an hour, and you've got 10 different things, active items, passive items, this and that. You're flying around, you're jumping around, don't take fall damage, don't get hit by this attack or that attack, and your whole screen is full of nonsense, and somehow you're able to filter out everything that doesn't matter and discern what does matter and make it through each continuous wave of enemies and pass through to the end of the game and win. And that is also Path of Exile. You see a new spoiler for something that comes out in the next expansion, and immediately the gears begin to turn. It reminds you of older cards, older mechanics, things that will synergize with it that maybe haven't been used in years. And you sit down at your computer and suddenly 3 hours have gone by and you've got 30 tabs open. You're researching all these different mechanics and cards, and you're looking at older decks that ran similar cards to see how they built their decks and built their synergies. You're even digging through the rules to make sure that what you're trying to build is even going to work and function. And you put it together and you go and you play it, and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but either way, you think about what went right, what went wrong, and you iterate on it. You change some cards in and out, and you go and you play it again, and you iterate on it more, and you play it again and again and again, and finally, after dozens or hundreds of games and tests and changes, you get all of the mechanics and synergies to work perfectly in the right order and at the right time, and it's exactly what you want it to be, and you just have such a fun time playing it because you've got it to exactly its perfect spot. And that is also Path of Exile.